Good evening everyone, my name is Knitting Nat Stitches and welcome to my floss tube. This is my 13th floss tube where I talk to you about my cross stitching, and this floss tube I am talking to you with an update on everything that I've done in November and just kind of touching on the plans for Christmas and the new year. November has been a really busy month for me with 2 retreats, which included 6 new starts, but also a few finishes too. So we'll see those in good time. For those of you who aren't aware, I'm in Sydney. It's summertime. It's quite warm. I've got fans going. I've got the door open. You can just see the starts of my twinkle lights outside. It's a very warm evening and I'm trying to catch the breeze. You might hear some aeroplane noise, you might hear some traffic noise, you might hear some summertime bird noise too, because that's what we've got. So shall we get underway? So I had, as I mentioned, 6 new starts for November. I went to the Gathering Stitches retreat in Victoria in Drouin, and the retreat piece there was the common pink Heath, and that was designed by Fuzzy Fox Designs. Now I managed to not only start it but finish it as well. Here we are. Here's a picture of the design. Now this is stitched on a specially dyed Hint of Mint, which is a very light green, but it's got a little bit more yellow in it to give it a little bit more depth. And the fabric is dyed by Paddock Lane Designs, and I've stitched on a 32 count even weave. And I just think it's so sweet. Look at that. There we go, and up nice and close. You can see that there's a little bit of back stitching and some beads there as well. I haven't decided how I'm going to finish it, but I have bought some quilting fabrics to finish that off. For those of you who aren't aware, the pink Heath is the state flower, the state floral emblem for Victoria. So there we go, and there's the little Gathering Stitches logo as well, and you can see the pink Heath in the logo too. So yeah, that's been a really lovely start to November. I've got to think where I'm going to put all my things. There we go. All right. Up next is, I've got some notes just down below, is A is for apple, B is for balloon, both by Mojo Stitches. I'll just show you the cover picture. There we go, not too much glare either. There we go. So as you can see, it's designed to be stitched into a cube, just like the little alphabet blocks. So I started A is for apple in Victoria when I went to the retreat, and I got the stitching done. Now I'm stitching this on a 14 count Aida by Zweigart, and it's nice and stiff and crunchy, and I'm stitching this in silks, a combination of NPI silks and Silk for You, all from my stash. And on the back of it I'm stitching B is for balloon. As you can see, I've not yet finished it, and what I love about this one is the use of long stitch and satin stitch. Now I've actually used all 6 threads of the Silks for You silk and really laid it on nice and thick, so you get that very rich and full coverage in the satin stitch, that sense of abundance with the silks. So that is A for Aardvark, and what is it? Did I say A is for apple? A is for Aardvark, B is for balloon, by Mojo Stitches. And this is all in I think this is a Narelle bag, which is a very lovely bag. Okay, up next is Glenella by Paddock Lane Designs. I've got everything in a basket just off to the side. Hopefully it doesn't fall over. Now, Glenella was a retreat piece designed by Paddock Lane Designs for the spring retreat up in Blackheath in 2023. I didn't stitch it then, but I decided at the last minute that I wanted to get it stitched just before I went up to Glenella and to the Blackheath retreat once more. And I've not only finished it, started it, I finished it, and I fully finished it. And I've put it onto some backing card with a really lovely fabric underneath, and it's sitting on the top of a notions box. I'm going to come back to this notions box. So it goes back in the tub of mysteries just beside me. The next piece that I started and finished was actually at the Blackheath retreat. It was the retreat piece designed by Mojo Stitches, and it is called Strawberry Gum. That's right, Strawberry Gum. Now, it's stitched on a 32 count even weave, and as you can see, I've fully finished it. And that was one of the really lovely things about this piece. There's only about 500 stitches in it, so you can see, there we are, and the colours are run really true there as well. It's another Paddock Lane Designs fabric in a really lovely green. This one I think is called Eucalyptus by Paddock Lane Designs, and it's got this really lovely puff on the top and finished with a little bit of a chenille bow on the top. And it's all been hand sewn while we were up in the retreat in the mountains on the weekend that's just gone. So there's that little strawberry. I'm really pleased with it. I'm just going to pop it down there. And the last start is a brand new release, and at the Stitching in the Mountains retreat we were very fortunate to have an exclusive early sneak peek and opportunity to purchase 2 new designs by Mojo Stitches, and I purchased both of them, and I started in the greenhouse by Mojo Stitches. Now, here is the design. As you can tell, this is a follow-on to the in the library, and yeah, it's really sweet. I love it, and I am stitching it in the called for threads, which are the Cottage Garden Threads, on a 40 count. This is 40 count Sea Fog by Linen by R&R, and that's where I've gotten up to. So just started the border, and yeah, very happy. Oh yes, and you can see the little retreat magnet that was very kindly provided by, just checking my notes, by Ginger Stitch AU. So thank you, Ginger Stitch AU, for the lovely needle minder as well. So those were my new starts. I've stitched close to 10,000 stitches this month. Not all of them in the new starts. I did touch on some of my favorites as well. So let's look at those. I'll start from the start of the month and work my way through until what I've been stitching on most recently, not including the ones that you've already seen, which are my new starts. Oh, I also had a fully finish. Before I do that, I had a full finish of another Mojo Stitches design. Where's it gone? Oh, here we go. This is Reindeer Dance, which was a retreat exclusive for the Stitch in Time Christmas in July retreat in 2023. So last year I got this chart and I finished it in July this year and finally fully finished it just in the last month. So yeah, lovely Biscornu. Cut there as well. Okay, so other things I've been stitching. Pegasus Field Note. I started this last month. I put another 500 stitches into it since we caught up last month. And this is where I really haven't progressed it a lot, so maybe I'll keep it out and keep working on it. Let's see how that goes. But yes, you can see there has been a little bit more filling in of the letters there. That is Pegasus Field Note by Unconventional X Stitch on 25 count even weave by Zweigart. Alright, up next is St. Andrews. I've been really working on this quite a lot lately. I have put in about 1,600 stitches in the month of November, and I'll put in a picture of what it looked like. Now, St. Andrews, this is a vintage travel poster that I purchased the artwork for it and then converted it into a stitchable chart, and for my personal use. And yeah, I've been working on it since January 2020. I am 54% of the way through, a little bit over, maybe closer to 55%. It's on my Almanac frame, and this is where it's up to. I've been working in the diagonals over here. There we go. If I turn that way, you can see a little bit more. You can see the beach, bit of flagpole. I have rolled the scroll frame up a bit, but yeah, really happy with that. Not sure when I'll get it finished. I have some big plans for St. Andrews. I am hoping to put in at least 30,000 stitches in 2025, which is a lot, and that should see it getting up close to 75-80% complete in the next 12 months. So let's see how that goes. I may fall off the wagon for that, but fingers crossed. All right. up next is the stockings were hung by Mill Hill. Now this is a Mill Hill kit that I got, and it came with fabric, not with perforated paper. So that's been an experience in itself. The Aida, I think, is by Zweigart, maybe, possibly not, they don't say. It is a 14 count grey, but I've really pushed it along quite a lot. I've gotten most of this chair done. I've finished off this side of the fireplace. We can see some milk and cookies for Santa there, and this dog has appeared since you last saw it, so that's really exciting. There's still some stitching to put in on the floor here, the border, and then backstitch and beads. So yes, I think I can get this finished before Christmas. So that's my big December challenge. Get this finished. I have other Christmas whips, but this was the only one that received attention in November because I was at retreats and doing retreat starts and finishes and other lovelies. And the last whip is Threads of Deceit, which is the stitch along, I've forgotten who it's by, and I put in 400 stitches. The sale is over now, but I'm yet to put in the last row of flowers, but it's ready for it. So there we go. I'm stitching this on I'm stitching this on a 30 count even weave from my stash, and I'm using Cottage Garden Threads, also from stash, so in purple and pink tones. Not sure what I'll do with it. I have some ideas. So what else? I guess it's a good time to talk about the retreats. You've seen some of the pieces already. You've seen the Fuzzy Fox Pink Heath and the Strawberry Gum, and also the In the Greenhouse by Mojo Stitches. And yeah, what else happened? So let's start with the Gathering Stitches retreat. It was held in the Drouin Golf Club in Drouin in Victoria. Is that all that was in there? Not quite, but one thing, and I'll talk about that later. The Gathering Stitches retreat in Drouin in Victoria, and there were about 40 odd people there, and the retreat piece was Pink Heath by Fuzzy Fox Designs. There was 3 vendors there. There was Paddock Lane Designs, Ali B, and Stitch and Stitch Handmade by Robin. There were also promotions by Number 12 Stitch Co, and I made some purchases from them. And we also played some games. We played Guess the Number of DMC thread wrappers in a jar. I was a long way off. There was bingo. There was, I think, a heads and tails. Yes, there was a heads and tails. I didn't come close to winning that one. And there was, I guess, the DMC colour. And I came equal first. And I won a prize. I won a voucher from Tom's Old Things. If you're familiar with Tom's Old Things, they have perforated wooden I guess blanks to be able to cross stitch on, so things like ornaments or badges and other designs. And so yeah, I've got a couple of those that I'm working on as gifts for other people, so I'm not going to show those, but I saw that and I thought, right, that's going to be great to stitch up as just something quick in a lunchtime or something like that. And I also won the Country Threads Little Aussie Birth Sampler. Now, I'm not having a baby, but we've got someone in my family who is, and so I thought I might stitch this up. And because I was there with the Paddock Lane Designs vendor there, we found a beautiful piece of fabric that would suit this. It is called, oh, is it on here? I don't think it is. I think the tag's fallen off. It's a 32 count. Let's just call it a 32 count mystery. It's hard to get the right colors, but that's about the right tones through there. It's a yellowy, greeny brown, and it's very neutral. I do know the gender of the baby, so that's going to be very helpful. But yeah, I've got the DMs, I think it's DMC thread that's in this one. It's just pre-sorted stranded cotton, so I'll need to make sure that I'm frugal with it, but it doesn't look terribly complicated. It looks very sweet. It looks like there are plenty of flosses. Yes. Oops. What was that? Oh, some little needle that was in the bag. Not quite sure why. Little needle tubes, and the sorted stranded cotton. Very, very long, so that will be a challenge to manage. I don't recognize the thread numbers, so I will need to be rather frugal with that. But I'm looking forward to it. I'll get that started. That'll probably be a New Year's start for me. I have, I think, until, oh, and it came with little floss cards as well. I've got a bit of time to prepare for that, but not too much time. Babies don't wait. They come when they come. But I don't know the name, so waiting until I have the name, till I know the name before I hand it over will also be good. Oh, I better put this fabric back in there. So it's a 32 count even weave, so you'll see that maybe not in December, but certainly coming in the coming months as I work on that project. So that's that one. Oh, we got given a really lovely goodie bag. As you can see, it's quite full of all sorts of lovely things from the retreat, including, well, I purchased some bits and bobs from the various vendors. So I got 2 project bags from what was this, Stitch and Stash by Robin. So this lovely patchwork one, and this beautiful lyrebird fabric. So there's lyrebirds in the hills outside, up in the hills from outside Drouin, and it's got a really lovely mottled brown on the interior, and very sweet bling. Can you see that? And it's focusing on me, not that, but you can see the wee bird there. There was a discount code for the number 12 stitch code, And it was for that weekend only. So I jumped online, and yes, I bought some thread bling, a scissor fob, and a lovely pair of scissors, because I just wanted more scissors. And the discount was really good. And I know the scissors that are sold from Number 12 Stitch Co. So there we go. Also at the retreat, oh, itchy nose, I'm sorry. We got a few little bits and bobs. It's business cards with discount codes, little froggy stickers, which are always cute, especially if you love stickers. A little thing of tea, and this was provided by Catkin and Lily, who provided a little chart of "You are terrific." So there we are, that's cute. So that could be a really sweet little motivational stitch. And yeah, some fun things in there. So looking forward to busting some stash with that little thing there, and having a cup of tea while I do it, maybe. Then what else was there in the bag? Oh, some thread, some floss tags, some samples of what Hero and Stitch provides. So some different designs. Hero and Stitch are on Etsy, and they provided some different designs of their floss tags. These are really cool because you run the thread, your floss ring through that hole, and you can slide the sleeve of your DMC onto there and then hang the floss off this larger hole. So yeah, very clever design. There was also some scissors, which I actually moved into my little retreat box. I think these were provided by the Scissor Man. These are particularly good because they've got a blunt end, so they might be all right to go through airport security. No guarantee, but they're more likely to be deemed appropriate in comparison to these very sharp numbers. What else was there? A little Art box that was made by a very kind but anonymous person. So thank you, whoever you are. All right, I'm going to go back there. I'll talk about that later. And there was also Ali B, who was one of the vendors at the retreat, and I got from her stand, she's got all sorts of really lovely bits and bobs and things you don't expect. And I picked up for me a little Christmas tree earring kit. Can you see those there? There we are. Just see the Christmas trees there. So it's a little kit with the plastic, the hooks for it, and the floss. I could knock that up in half an hour, an hour. In fact, I might do that tonight after filming. And also I got a blue ringed octopus kit, and the kit includes the pattern, the fabric, the hoop, the threads, and a needle. The only thing they didn't provide was scissors, and that's fine because I've got some. So the blue ringed octopus looks cute, very, very poisonous. So don't pick it up. But it's found in coastal waters, in rock pools in southeastern Australia and Tasmania. But yes, cute but deadly. So that was the Gathering Stitches retreat in Drouin. It was really lovely. It was down, oh, that's right. We also got a really lovely drink bottle, and my ice has melted. While I'm thinking about it, thirsty. And so yeah, it was down near my hometown where I grew up, close to where I grew up. So I was able to spend some time stitching with my mum and seeing some of my relatives down there as well at that retreat. Right, a little bit of quick tidy, because then we've got the Stitching in the Mountains retreat, which was just this weekend gone. I was at the 29th, 30th and of November and the 1st of December. So you've seen some of my starts and finishes from that. Oops, dropping things. All right, so one of the things that I did get just for that retreat, because the air conditioning's okay, it can get a little bit close, was this amazing neck fan. So I bought this. It's just giving me a little bit of a breeze around the neck. Very comfortable on a hot day like today. And quite quiet too. So yes, I'm a fan of the fan. Right, so Stitching in the Mountains retreat, there were about 40 stitches that came along and attended. It's a residential retreat, or partially residential, and there was some day stitches as well, which was lovely to see them. And yeah, it was good. We had Mojo Stitches as a vendor, and Paddock Lane Designs, and who else did we have? We had Willowbrook Threads and Fibres and Alexandra, and both Alexandra and Willowbrook Threads and Fibres make bags. So I did do some purchasing from there. I got a bag. Oh, here we go. We have a little bag from Alexandra. Now she does this patchwork herself. So yes, it's beautiful quality stitching, great choices of colors, really sweet fabrics, and you know, this one's got a lovely dark green on the inside. It's padded with really sweet little bling there. There we go. Can you see it? Can you see it? Little shell. There we go. And then Willowbrook Threads, another beautifully quilted bag. It's got various fabric. It looks like it's patchwork, but it's not. It's actually the print. And some of the prints look like they could be William Morrison, maybe Liberty. It's Liberty-ish. A beautiful vinyl fronted bag. So yeah, really do like the quality of her bags. She has great attention to detail, and she is on Etsy. I will put all of the details of these vendors where they have Etsy pages down in the comments below. Sorry, in the description below. What else did we do? We had some workshops. We were asked to bring up a piece of stitching that we were kind of thinking we're not quite sure what to do with it. We're thinking about giving up on it and looking for ways that we might be able to finally finish it. And one of those pieces was the retreat piece by Mojo Stitches for the 2023 Stitching in the Mountains retreat, which was a needlebook. And you've seen a hint of what it might be because I've got a reuse here, but also I chopped it up and I've got a piece of it here inside the lid of this Notions box. And also I chopped up a bit of it onto and put it onto this bag. There we are. So you can see some of my stitching here, just in this border here. There we go. All right, keeping going. Oh, bug. Ah, go away, bug. We also brought up a piece of, a whip that we're wanting to UFO. He's fine. He's just going outside. But yeah, and we auctioned them off. All of the funds were raised to go to the Older Women's Network, and there were 2 pieces there that I thought I would really like to adopt those whips. They're started, and the first one is the Dimensions Gold Collection, what is it called? Beacon at Daybreak. Now, I'd been wanting to stitch this and somebody has already started it. I checked and they do cross their stitches in the same direction as me. So I'm really happy to have this and to be able to get it started. So I don't know, what is it? Is it a start if it's already started? Tell me what you think in the comments below. So I might take this with me on vacation in January and work on this. The other whip that I adopted is a house by Olga Gostin. It's called Old Metal Roof House, and it's a old metal roof house. It actually reminds me of the farmhouse that my aunt and uncle used to have in country Victoria, but it looks a bit like a Queenslander. You can see that palm tree in the back and it's raised up on stilts. So I'll have to do a bit of research into what this one is, but it's pre-sorted DMC stranded cotton on 16 count Aida. I don't like the Aida particularly. The holes are really large, so there's not a lot done already, so I'm thinking I might restart that on fabric that I choose. But it's certainly from the days when the DMC charts came pre-sorted onto thread cards, so that's really exciting. So happy to have that, and maybe I'll get that moving along properly and underway, and hopefully finished soon too. What else? Lucky door prize. I picked up the Glenella in winter, so this is from Paddock Lane Designs, and I also got the finishing kit to go with it. So I've got fabric, floss, and the frame and a finishing kit to go with it. I might reuse it a little bit. I'll see how it goes, and adapt it for what I want to do. What else? Yes. I got the other new design by Mojo Stitches called Vienna Roses. There we go. It's really sweet, simple, very elegant arts from design, kind of reminiscent of Art Deco, Art Nouveau, arts and crafts movement. Simple, elegant. It recommends the Cascade House embroidery silks. It does come with a DMC conversion, and I might pull some floss from stash and see if I can find some lovely over-dyed threads to be able to work on that, and some fabric from stash too. So we'll see about how I want to do that. I won't show that chart for long because Joe hasn't actually announced them yet, and I want to give Joe the opportunity to really talk about them in quite extensively, and to show them off in the best way that she can. What else? Oh yes, a little bit more stash and haul. So Joe has also provided a whole bunch of little notions pouches, and I got a stack of them, and I'm not keeping them for me. They're going to be gifts for nieces and nephews, so that's going to be fun for them. And they're all on reused rice bags, and then they have a design printed on them, and that's good to go. There was also a design for an Art tray that Paddock Lane Designs made for the retreat. I'm sorry, there's a little bit of crinkle going on here. Let's see if I can find it. I just want to make sure that, no, it is just the chart, so I can't show it to you. But we were also given the Art tray, so when you assemble it by snapping together the corners, it creates a little Art tray. And there's other ways that you can assemble it, such as, maybe it goes this way. No, it's only at those corners, snapping them together, and it just sits on your table. Drop your orts in, or rest your scissors in it. And she provided all of the threads and the fabric to stitch that up. It was quite a bit of stitchy kindness, which was lovely. But yeah, there was also a measuring tape, always handy. Centimeters on one side, inches on the other. Interestingly, every 10 centimeters has a different color, so I'm very glad to have that. That will be a very, very, very handy thing. And I've never seen it before, but it's got a snap on it. So you wrap it and then snap it, and then it doesn't come undone. That is genius. If anybody's experienced the pain of an unraveled cloth tape, measuring tape, that is brilliant. Love it. So that's that little design. Then stitchy kindness. A lot of stitchy kindness. Okay. Cozy props. Okay, that is Alexandra's bag making company. So that is Alexandra, and she gave some stitchy kindness around as well, which included a scrunchie, some thread cards, tea, and a Freddo Frog, as well as a DMC thread, which was very handy for a stitching sprint challenge. Oh dear, I'm making a mess, What else was there? This little bag. Yes, so there was also a Stitching in the Mountains pen, very handy for keeping notes. And also on the theme of the strawberry gum, we got some information about the strawberry gum. It's a eucalyptus tree from the northern tablelands of New South Wales, in an area traditionally owned by the Bundjalung people. When crushed, the long leaves give off strong scents of berries and is traditionally used for its sweet taste and for stomach problems. So we got some strawberry gum tea and also some strawberry gum powder. We thought, oh, maybe we didn't actually read the leaflet, and I thought, oh, maybe it's like lip balm or hand balm. Really glad we didn't open it up, because it would have been green powder everywhere. Not good. So glad that we learned that when we did. So I need to pop that strawberry gum powder into the freezer, apparently. What else? Stitchy kindness from my table mates, little frogs, tea, pens, floss drop cards, and all sorts of wonderful things like that. So thank you, Kate. Thank you, Emma. Who else was on my table? Michelle, was lovely to have you there. Kim, thank you. It was so great to share laughs with you. Sue and Jenny and Lisa. It was great to be with you on the table. So yeah, that was pretty fantastic. Stitchy kindness. Before we went on our road trip down to Victoria, Lisa stayed over at my place, and she gave me an early Christmas present. So I am a very, very proud owner of this beautiful book. It is the Vintage French Needlework book, and it has 300 cross-stitch patterns. They're mostly alphabets. Just as a quick sneak peek, I'll hold it all the way back here, and it is lovely, and I have used it already. These lovely alphabets, and there's an index in the back. So if you're looking for an alphabet that is a particular height, it says what page it is, and how high and how wide it is, or how high it is, and what page it is, and what the name of the chart is. So many of the charts are from Saju, and there are other beautiful designs also in the back of flowers, and mostly flowers, which is lovely. Oh, we've got a beetle just arrived. Our Christmas beetles are much like the June bugs in the USA. So yes, it's, I guess, June bug season. It's December for us, so it's Christmas beetles, and they're flying in through my open door. I also got, this is my own haul, this beautiful, marvelous histoire, which is a cross-stitch diary for 2025. I had to get this in from overseas. I think I bought it through the German Amazon, and every week there's a new design. It's all in French. Thankfully, DMC numbers translate beautifully, and so I can figure it out, which is good. And so there's information on the designers and their designs. So there's Veronique Anginger. There we go. A little bit of a maze with the books. And also I have the Fabric of the Month from Paddock Lane Designs Patreon. So this is a 32 count linen, fat eighth in the rock, which I think it's going to be a strictly limited and strictly exclusive color. It's showing up a bit brown to what it is here. It's a bit pinker. Let's see. Yeah, that's about right there. Nice one. So I'm looking forward to stitching on that. Haven't decided what yet, but there's a few designs about. Oh, look at that. Can you see the beetle? Oh dear, I wonder where that's gone. Other things of note. I am going to be taking part in the Great Australian cross-stitch shindig. I'm just going to get my information for that so that I'm getting it right. That is on the 26th to the 27th of January, Australian time, which is a Sunday and Monday. But those dates work out great because that's the Saturday and Sunday for folks in the USA and Canada. It's an online needlework event that is showcasing Australian talent. It is for all cross stitchers in Australia and around the globe to come together and to meet the talented and creative Australian cross-stitch community leaders and the innovators. There's a $10 Australian registration fee for all weekend access to a virtual retreat room where you will meet and greet Australian designers, and will also receive exclusive designs that have been created especially for the event. There'll be vendors with exclusive products and deals, and Australian floss tubers with their unique perspectives and projects available, and they will be available for Q&A as well, and they'll run some sessions. So I'm really looking forward to taking part in that. Head to the Paddock Lane Designs website. I'll put that information in the description below. Check it out. $10 is I think really good value for what is proposed to be, what is looking to be quite a fun weekend. Some exciting stuff coming up. I've got a product collaboration with Paddock Lane Designs and Ginger Stitch AU. I wasn't able to get a hold of the prototype before filming today, so you will probably see that on Lisa's Flosstube coming up soon. It's really exciting. I can't wait to show it to you and to give it a test stitch. So yeah, it's going to be great fun. My plans for December, I've got my Christmas projects. I've got the stockings were hung, the Mill Hill kit, which is really close to a finish. I've also got the tea towel advent calendar and a Christmas tree. Neither the Christmas tree or the tea towel got any attention at all in November, and I really need to do those. I'm hoping to get those finished before Christmas, which would be great, and then I've got something to show you before the new year. Other things, I am hoping to finish B is for balloon, and also hoping to start and get cracking on with the adopted whips and also the birth sampler. So there's some things coming up in January which will be great fun, and maybe I can get them started this December as well, if I can get those Christmas whips out of the way. All right, thank you so much for spending time with me this evening. The sun has definitely set. I've got a bit of a disaster down at my feet with all of the bits and pieces that I've shown you this evening. And so, yeah, I think it's time for me to clean up and maybe pull out some stitching and have a lovely relaxing evening with my family. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next month. Happy stitching.